Uh, oh, I guess I'm going live. No countdown this time. So if you do want to join me, you can go to my Rumble channel and join me. I like it because I can see the live chat on Rumble. Uh, anyway, I do have two channels. I have my Bible study has one, and then I have my uh, Patriots Soapbox channel, which is called On a Wing and a Prayer, and my Bible studies Journey Through the Bible. So I went ahead and split those into two channels for the live streaming, and then I go back and do the archives or the recorded on my regular um, regular Rumble channel under Dev6545. So anyway, I just what can I say? It's Saturday, and you can see me on. Let me kind of start back. It's trying to do two platforms at one time, but this is Honor Wing and Prayer seen on Patriot Soapbox on Thursday mornings, 2 a.m. to 5 a.m. Eastern, or my or and Saturday evenings from 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. Eastern, so adjust for your time zone. And my name, I go by Deb65, and oh, tough crowd today. Anyway, what can I say about what's going on? Uh, I wanted. Did y'all know? I mean, we knew that. Let's see. So we know that Alligator Alcatraz. I wanted to remind people about Alligator Alcatraz. And so let's see. Let me see. I'm going to Alligator Alcatraz. So you can see Alligator Alcatraz. All right, come on. There we go. Let's take that down. Can now see that on Rumble, or there we go. For Fox News Digital. Fire up the deportation plane, she said. So DeSantis authorized the construction of the illegal immigrant detention center on a 30 square mile property in the Everglades swamplands of Miami Dade County under an emergency order. The property in Okeechobee, or Ochope, I'm sure someone in chat will correct my pronunciation of that word, is a former airport that has been outfitted with sturdy tent structures. I mean, do y'all see that they were complaining this week? They were complaining, saying that the food wasn't edible. That I mean, I saw two reports. One was saying, "Well, we only get ham sandwiches." Well, it's not supposed to be a five-star hotel. I mean, I don't know. This is a looks like a concrete floor. Uh, I mean, unless it's a detention center, it's not supposed to be a hotel, and you got the bunk beds. They just look like pretty nice bunk beds, if you ask me. Now, if you come in there and trash things up, whose fault is that? The Florida Division of Emergency Management said the site has the capacity for 2,000 detainees, but will eventually hold 4,000. DeSantis said Friday that the whole purpose is to make this be a place that can facilitate increased frequency and numbers of deportations of illegal aliens, and that is the goal. Remember, we got over 20 million in this country, and they, the problem is how are they going to keep them out? And one of the reasons why this is a sensible spot is because you have this runway that's right here. You don't have to drive them an hour to an airport. You go a couple of thousand feet and they can be on a plane and out of here, the governor said. So here's an aerial view, it looks like. Wow. This airport is able to accept commercial sized aircraft and conduct both day and night time operations, to send reading some of the things that they were accusing President Trump and the administration um, they were saying that there were maggots in the food. I mean, I don't know about you guys, but I have a hard time believing that narrative. I mean, unlike the Democrats, we're about humane. We're about humane conditions, right? I mean, I don't see that happening. Now, I could be wrong to be just and fair, but where was the outrage? Where was the outrage about the J6ers who didn't have due process? I actually talked to two of the people. I actually had an interview with one of them on PSB. She explained, even though she didn't get put in jail, she basically told you how they railroaded these prosecutors held exculpatory evidence, would not, I mean, if you were lucky to, I mean, how many of them actually got a jury trial? How many of them, how many of the J6ers, it was all bench trial? And they go against these judges. Look at the activist judges and what they're doing now. Does anybody really believe? Well, I know the eggs I got today were about $1 more. Yeah, I mean they were like, someone got a phone call. I mean, NBC was saying that they had a phone call and people were complaining. They were saying there were maggots in the food. I mean, these are all people on the phone. You don't get to see. And of course, the Homeland Security is saying that's not true, or DHS is saying that's not true. Let me stop the share, and let me stop share. Um, but I just like, I'm sorry. Do y'all really expect me to believe anything the mainstream media says about this? We don't. So I just, while everybody is focused on the Maxwell stuff, and um, everybody's focusing on Epstein, there are things happening around the world that people just are not. Let's see. I've got some things, but let's see. So, anyway, I didn't even, I mean, here, for example, Newsom, right? What is Newsom doing in California? So, Texas, if you don't know, Texas is having a special a session this it's like I believe 6 weeks. It's a special session, and the one of the focuses is supposed to be on uh, the oh my goodness, on redistricting. So Newsom's decided he's going to ramp up California restricted redistricting threat as Texas weighs new Republican maps. Remember, this is about the voter rolls. It's about taking away the voter rolls so people can, cleaning up the voter rolls so to get rid of the or minimize the election fraud. Isn't it funny how it's redistricting for one group and then gerrymandering on the other group, right? So, depending on what your narrative is. So, as Texas moves forward with an off cycle redistricting to shore up Republicans' narrow House majority, remember, we've lost, what, three or four uh, seats in the Congress this year just because, where they were rhinos or whatever reason, or that maybe they were compromised or they were threatened, who knows. So, Gavin Newsom is plotting a Democratic response in California, but the State Independent Redistricting Commission is a major obstacle. So, this is from Cal Matters, and Cal Matters is a nonprofit devoted to covering issues that affect California. So, what seems a few weeks ago like a far fetched political fantasy ahead of the 2026 midterms has quickly evolved into a high stakes showdown en- enveloping states across the country. As Texas this week began an off cycle redistricting process, basically, Governor Abbott called a special session. He's got other things on the agenda that they want to. Hi, Michael J. Uh, uh, they want to put on their docket or the agenda, but redistricting is one of them. So let's see, began an off cycle redistricting process meant to shore up Republicans' slim House majority. Governor Gavin Newsom appeared Friday with a group of Democratic legislators from that state, reaffirming its intention for California to respond with new maps of its own that would benefit Democrats. This is the reason why they are fighting against ICE. They don't want their votes to uh, to leave the state. Following a meeting with Texas lawmakers at the historic governor's mansion in downtown. Oh, so they're meeting with Texas lawmakers. You want to bet that they are Texas Democrat lawmakers? So if you're in Texas, you need to be paying attention. Is Basubi out there? I know Basubi is a very strong advocate in Austin. So in case you didn't know about this, if Basubi's out there, following a meeting with the Texas lawmakers at the historic governor's mansion in downtown Sacramento, Newsom told reporters that everything is at stake if we're not successful next year in taking back the House of Representatives, not only blunting President Donald Trump's agenda, but protecting American democracy. Remember, we're not. There is nothing in the Constitution. There is nothing in the Bill of Rights. There's nothing in the Declaration of Independence. The word democracy, I call it demonocracy. I put that in. Democracy is just one letter away from demon. Um, we are a constitutional republic. That means everybody has a say. It's not one group of people over the other. It's for the good of the country. If we don't put a stake into the heart of this administration, there may not be an election in 2028, he said. We're not screwing around. We can't afford to screw around either. Or they're not screwing around. Sorry about that. My bad. We have got to fight fire with fire. I mean, this is how they're panicking, right? Newsom is panicking. Yeah, I hear you, Michael. I hear you. There's one major obstacle to the governor's ambitions, however. While the legislature draws district lines in Texas, California relies on a bipartisan citizen redistricting commission protected by the state constitution. Well, that seems like that this appears to be at least one thing that California got right in their constitution, right? But they'll probably figure out a way to get around that. In 2008, voters narrowly approved an amendment removing California legislature's power to draw their own seats. 2 years later, voters overwhelmingly passed another amendment expanding the commission's authority to congressional maps. The Independent Commission in California became a national model for advocates who hope to end the partisan gerrymandering that has contributed to a decline in competitive House seats and the country's fractious and sectarian politics. Now, Newsom, who said he otherwise supports independent redistricting, is exploring multiple options for working around the commission to squeeze more Democratic districts out of California if Texas follows through on its plan. That would probably involve calling a special sessions, Newsom said, though he is still discussing with the legislature what sort of proposal they might present to voters. Would it include a new map to approve or create another process to draw on? Oh yeah, probably they'll probably do their own mapping, right? Would the commission be temporarily or permanently repealed? This is a fluid conversation, he said. We're gaming all those things out. States typically redraw their congressional seats once per decade after the census to ensure the districts are all roughly equal in population. The most recent maps were drawn after the 2020 election and took effect in 2022. But last month, Trump's political team began pressuring Republican leaders in Texas. I love how they use that word pressuring to revisit the state's district lines and create additional GOP seats. Of course, the GOP isn't any better than some of the Democrats, because the Grand Old Party is not necessarily the Grand Old Party that we knew, and you know the thing is the Grand Old Party is just as bad as some of the Democrats, right? So the party won a 5-seat majority in the House. Let's see. Oops. I lost my. So if anybody wants, if you're in Rumble and D Live, I mean not D Live, man, I get D Live on the brain, or YouTube, and you want to chat with me, let me know what you think, everybody. Uh, the party won a 5-seat majority in the House last November, the narrowest in nearly a century, leaving little room for error as Trump tries to enact his legislative agenda and putting control of the chamber at risk if next year's midterm is away election against the unpopular president. He's not unpopular. I don't know about this, whoever. He's not unpopular. I mean, Scotland was lining up, waiting for him to land when he went there yesterday. These people, they can't tell the truth for the life of them. But here's the thing. I mean, when you think about it, if they fix the voter rules, you don't have to worry about that. I mean, it's about the voter rules. Despite opposition from Republicans in the Texas congressional delegation, who worry that diluting their conservative voter basis and restricting could inadvertently make their seats vulnerable, Governor Greg Abbott earlier this month called a special session of the legislature to redraw the maps. He is targeting four Democratic seats in Dallas and Houston uh, areas that Trump administration has deemed unconstitutional racial gerrymanderings manders because they have high numbers of, quote, and I'm quoting this, okay? I don't, you know me, I do not like to talk race as in color, you know. Color is just it's a descriptive yeah, it's a descriptive word. It doesn't mean anything to me. Black and Latino voters. The first public hearing took place on Thursday with Texas Democrat lawmakers slamming the move as a power grab. Well, I mean, come on, if they actually had real voters, remember Houston. You have the Houston mayor, or let's see, I think she's the Houston mayor. She's been under voter fraud or voter tampering legislation. I mean, she's been under the gun. Uh, she's been investigated. She's being investigated for campaign funds violations. I mean, you have these people. I mean, come on, really, Jasmine Crockett and Al Green and Sheila Jackson Lee, those people that are activists with Texas Democrat. Let's see. The boldly political maneuver juiced similar efforts in other Republican states, including Ohio and Missouri, that could further pad a GOP majority while setting off alarm bells among Democrats nationally. But even as party leaders voice their outrage, they have fewer options to fight back because congressional districts in many of the largest Democratic states, such as California, New York, and New Jersey, are drawn by independent commissions. No one has been more outspoken than Newsom. Yeah, that's because he's panicking. Who weeks ago began publicly floating the idea of sidestepping California's commission to redraw more congressional districts in Democrats' favor if Texas moves forward with its plan. It's a legal dubious it's a legally dubious and politically fraught endeavor. Even some of Newsom's fellow Democrats have expressed skepticism because of the precedent it would set. So, including Assembly member Alex Lee Milpitas, whose vote may be needed to place a measure on the ballot. Common Cause California, a nonprofit that advocates for government in the public interest and backed the formation of the independent commission, blasted it as a dangerous move that would put our state's quote unquote democracy on the line during a time of national instability. Meanwhile, Republican gubernatorial candidate Steve Hilton is already threatening to sue to stop a new map and has added to his platform a plan to require the redistricting commission to include more GOP seats. Well, you know, here's the problem. Even if you have redistricting and was it gerrymandering or whatever you want to call it, whatever word you want to use for it, it's not going to do you any good if you have a corrupt Secretary of State who is allowing mail in ballots, who is allowing ballot harvesting, who is allowing anybody and everybody who walk in the door to vote. My personal experience, I was able to go in on the day of the last day of uh, what's the I'm having a hard time. Oh, before the election. Did I? No, I didn't go on the day of election. I went and the day before. Oh, what do they call it now? I'm having a senior moment, everybody. Not primary. Oh, not the primary. What? Early election. That's it. Early election. And I was able to go in. I took my ID. All I had to do is swear it on I had to sign a paper, an affidavit saying I say who I am. And I gave her my social security number. I said, and I guess she looked it up by the social security number. Because she asked me, did you go and register your vehicle, or have you gone to the DMV? I said no. She says, do you want to? And she said, do you want to vote in today? I said, if it is possible, yes, I would like to vote. She asked me if I wanted to do it on the machine or if I wanted to do a paper ballot. I said I wanted to do a paper ballot. She said, okay, fill it out. She gave me a provisional ballot where I voted for president and the I could and governor, between Steve Garvey and um, and Newsom. Oh no, not governor. Senate, Steve Garvey or Shifty, and I could vote on the propositions, which is interesting because now, in order to be a felony, they lowered the threshold $950 to like $400. So you could be arrested now if you go and steal 450 over $450. And actually somebody got caught and they didn't know that the law had changed on that. Anyway, so when I went in and I had my ID, and I mean I had it in front of her, I put it on the thing. She's like, oh, I don't need to see that. I mean, she takes all of my information. She says, well, and then when I get my ID card or my voter card from the mail, I am. It says I can now vote in California elections in November 15th. So I don't even know if my vote even counted. So to get back to where I'm saying, so what I'm saying, yes, until they do that and get rid of all that, it doesn't matter if they redistrict or not. Yep, they're not supposed to. So, like I said, she didn't ask for it. I just had it there. I had it there on purpose, and I took it with me on purpose. And I took it partly to see if she did, but I had it there. And she's like, "Oh, I don't need to see that." So she didn't want to even see it. And they have this ballot tracer that's supposed to say it says if they receive the ballot, but it's also supposed to say, from what I understand from other people, says whether or not it was counted. I never got confirmation that was counted. So that's the whole idea. So it doesn't matter if they redistrict, if they redo a map. Until they get rid of that other stuff, it's pointless. It's mute. Because of the legal risk of having the legislature simply draw new congressional districts, the most likely route is a special election action, asking voters to overturn the independent commission, said Paul Mitchell, a Democratic redistricting consultant. The problem is that the commission remains highly popular with voters in polling, Mitchell said. To get around that, Newsom may need to make concessions like a temporary pause that resumes the independent redistricting process in 2031 after the next census. It's in emergency break glass, not let's burn down the whole building, Mitchell said. Even then, he said Democrats would need to maintain the drumbeat of frustration over how the party is being harmed. Yeah, right. How the party is being harmed in Texas for months to turn out a motivated electorate in an unusual special election. It's like lightning in a bottle right now, Mitchell said. Are they going to be able to keep this forefront issue for people? So, I, like I said, you can't. So Newsom's panicking, and it's about the voter rolls. It's about getting rid of the. It's if we could get rid of the. If we could get rid of the corruption and the voter fraud, yeah. Let's see. Where else? Where can I go after that? Uh, can you believe, guys? I only have just a little over 30 minutes. Yeah. Uh, anyway, okay. Since we're on California, it's since I'm in California, it's interesting because uh, California is just so interesting as a whole. I mean, the stuff in California is just. Mm, hold on. Let me. Let me Okay, I am going to. So I'm going to sign off and rumble everybody because I don't want to put y'all through the painful of trying to do a show and y'all not being able to see it. So, for those of you in Rumble and if you are in YouTube, I just want to say thank you. If you want to go into D Live or you could go to PSB on Rumble, you can meet us over there. I do not see chat and Rumble on PSB, but I can. So I don't. I'm going to go ahead and stop the stream, but at least I'm getting my name out there in Rumble and live chat. So or live Rumble. So thank you, Rumble, and I'm going to stop share. Uh, Hopefully, the next few months, maybe by Christmas, I'll have a new computer and I can. I mean, if you want to trigger something, maybe if President Trump gives us rebates before Christmas, I can get me a computer before Christmas and all right. See, we got someone else who's joining us. I could try it again, but I'm afraid if I try it again, it's just going to make a mess. So thank you guys on Rumble. Thank you guys if you're on YouTube. I appreciate it. Hopefully you can, continue to follow me. You can always see my archive. You can see the whole show. I will upload it after tonight's show. So if you want to get a find out what all was said, uh, if you want to follow us or if you want to come back to my Rumble channel, Deb65 45, you more than welcome to. But anyway, in the meantime, those of you in Rumble, thank you for listening. Thank you for joining me. I really appreciate it. And I'm going to shut it down in stream.